The cool thing about this tenon jig is that I can use it to make finger or box joints like this one using templates right here. The way this works is with a template with a series of notches in it and this bolt that falls into the notches. So right now I'm inside one notch and that provides essentially two stops, and if I want to move into the next notch I lift this up a little bit, move it over, and now it's fallen to the next notch, and each of these notches corresponds to a slot that I want to cut in there for my finger joint. So the joint cut by this template is a bit on the tight side, so I want to make another one a little bit looser, and I just cut a blank for using in here, so I'll swap that one out. I'm starting to set up with the blade touching the face of the jig and the dial indicator at 0 at the end of its range. The first slot is going to start right where the blade is right now. So I'm using this punch that's got two sharp edges to mark where I'm currently at. And the blade cuts 100 thou wide, so I need to give it another 150 thou for the slot. So 1.5 turns, plus I'm going to give it 3 more thou just to make sure that joint is going to be a little bit looser because the last time it was too tight. And I'm going to mark where this position is. So that punch leaves a mark in the wood and it's kind of hard to see. Now for the next interval I'm going to have to add a 1/4 inch plus the thickness of the blade to leave a 1/4 inch worth of material. So that is 1, 2.5 plus another 100 for the blade, and I'm going to go back to 0 and I'll start the next slot here. And now I'll give it another 150 thou, 1.5 plus the 3 thou to make it a bit looser, and mark this position again. And now let's give it another 3.5 and mark that position. And another 150. And we've just run off the end of the dial indicator, so let's go back to 0. And now, without moving the lever here, I'm just going to reset the stop back to 0 but further in, so essentially doubling the range of my dial indicator. So we're back to 0 and lock it right here. 150 plus the 3. So these score marks are really not very easy to see, but here's the edge of one. I need to cut notches like this one in this piece here, and the easiest way to do that is on the table saw sled, and not actually cutting them in the top, but cutting them into the bottom of the piece of wood, just cutting through on the other side. With the jig up against the blade, I can now just put the bolt back in here and let it drop, and then I'm just going to move this until it bumps against the stop so I know I've got this template in the right spot. And I'll switch to a non-zero clearance insert because the bigger hole on these allows more sawdust to fall into the saw. I want to offset the fingers for the corresponding half of the joint by 1/4 inch, so that's 250 thou. So 1, 2.5 turns on here, and I want to move the template so that the notch now lines up with that. So I'll just move that until it hits the notch, except I'm hitting this on one here, so I'll just go over to the next notch here. And there we are, and lock that down. Looks like I guessed that one just about right. And where could you use a joint like that? It's an extremely strong way to join two pieces of wood at an angle. In fact, I used that on my long reach C-clamps, except I cut these with my screw advanced box joint jig, but I was limited. I could only go this deep, whereas with my tenoning jig I can make a joint that's a fair bit wider than this too. And another place I use joints like that is for the support for my outfeed table on the table saw. So these are like really strong shelf brackets, like so. So if you're thinking making these templates is a bit complicated, here's a neat trick. This template is actually exactly 3 times the size of the joint. So notice this lines up with the 4, the 5.5, the 7, and the 8.5. And these slots are 3/4 of an inch wide. So to make a 1/4 inch wide slot in the material, I need a 3/4 inch wide slot. Because this linkage here from here to this point reduces from here to the sled exactly 3:1. And to make sure that works out with the thickness of the blade, I chose a 5/16 inch bolt, which is almost exactly 3 times as thick as the blade is wide. So that corresponds to the kerf that the blade cuts. So the funny thing is, I've had a quickset tenon jigs for years and years, and I've only thought of these templates recently, and I hardly had to change anything on this jig at all. The only thing I really did is to move the stops. There used to be further down here, up here, so I have room for the template here with a nice 3:1 advantage.